Hello. Good evening. It's honestly for me a surprise for me to be here. Um, I've known um, spoken word since they started way back, and it's always been a dream for me to be on this stage. Every single time for the last few months, I've planned every month to be around, never got to do it. And just when I happen to be somewhere in the corner and I bump into Kami, who tells me his spoken word, and then Dana tells me, "Can you please perform?" And I said, "Yeah, maybe. Let me do that." So, regardless, it's such a privilege for me to be here. Spoken word has been an inspiration that has inspired my journey and everything. Dana is a personal friend, and I'm grateful to be here tonight. So, since you told me that tonight's theme is in Nsinzi, I am going to perform my first poem. Um, that is about, it's a Kinyarwanda poem. How many people understand Kinyarwanda? So it's actually a poem that I've written, I think, about 3 years ago. That is dedicated to Ingotanyi. So that's the first one that I'll perform. My second poem that I'll perform um, is what a poem that I hoped if I ever came on this stage, I'd perform, which is my favorite poem. So for those who don't speak Kinyarwanda, the second poem is going to be in English. So, but before, just so that I can warm up, do you guys mind? I know people are. Minsi none byavuzwe biratashe barutashe ku manywa y'ihangu abahungu b'inkotanyi cyane gira ubuntu nawe gira ubuntu gira ubuntu wagiriwe ubuntu gira ubuntu nyakugira ubuntu gira ubuntu ndakwinginze gira ubuntu wagiriwe ubuntu gira ubuntu nawe gira ubuntu. Thank you. So we can go to the poem. It's called Ingotanyi. Nje nari muto sinababonye ibigwi byanyu narabibwiwe kuko abababonye ntibahwema kubara inkuru z'ibigwi byabo bati ntibazuyaje aho rukomeye baritanze bakiza u Rwanda bamena amaraso badutabara barakotana turabohorwa benshi muri bo babyirukiye imahanga aho gutuza ngo bahere ishyanga bataha i Rwanda aho bavutse bazana umucyo ahari icuraburindi baduhaye u Rwanda ruzira urwango u Rwanda rutarobanura ku butoni aho gutura bitareba izuru u Rwanda buri wese yibonamo u Rwanda rwuje amahoro n'umutuzo umutekano usendereye tunasagurira amahanga igihugu cyiza gihiga ibindi none rero nkotanyi z'amarere mwarakoze kutubohora mukatubera urugero rwiza twabato tuzahora tureberaho murakoze cyane. Like I said, my second poem is called My Happy Daughter, and this is a piece that I don't have a daughter, so whenever I go on stage and I say my happy daughter, people tell me, how old is she? So I don't. And the way that the piece came about was, can I sit? Is it okay if I sit? So the way the piece came about was I was reminiscing about being 17 and being young and all of that. And I wanted to write a piece to the younger me. But then as I was halfway in the piece, I figured it would be regretting, yet I've lived a life where I've known a lot of great people. So I said, let me write it to my future child. And as I was writing halfway, I realized there is a part where I talk about love, and I realized if I dedicate this to my son, I don't know anything about love when it comes to um being a guy, because I'll just be complaining. But there is one thing I can do, which is telling my daughter what it feels like to be a guy, and something she would never know about being a girl from a perspective of of a guy when it comes to love. So you hear this in the poem. My happy daughter, I hope you don't grow up to know sadness, to feel your heart being ripped apart, to lose someone you love before you tell them, to trust and get betrayed, to love and never get loved back, to find out that they were not your friends. I hope you don't grow up to know depression, to be in the dark when the lights are on, to feel alone when surrounded by people, to breathe in fear and breathe out doubts, to miss your own smile and live like a stranger in your own body. I hope you don't get to find out that he likes the idea of you. This is the part that is about love. I hope you don't get to find out that he likes the idea of you, not you. That your genuine love is a trophy to him. That he uses your vulnerable heart for his comfort. That he plays your feelings to satisfy his needs. That he only looks forward to brag about you with his guys. I hope you don't get to find out that giving yourself to him won't keep him. I hope you stay young. Young enough to laugh with strangers. Young enough to see good in people. Young enough to never worry about tomorrow. Young enough to forgive with no regrets. Young enough to love with no limits. But if you do grow up, just remember to never lose hope in what's to come, to never fear mistakes and failures, to never judge someone by what they've told you, to always use optimism as your lens, and to never give up before tomorrow comes. Just remember that the more you fight, the stronger you get. It never get easier, but you get used to it. And when you find pure happiness, never forget its location. Thank you.